I think I'm to blame for the term accidental event manager, actually, but really what I'm referring to there is that there are so many people, as Emma and I have both said, this is what we do. It's what we've kind of chosen as part of our career, and it's predominantly, been the focus of our professional lives. But actually, for so many people that are working to deliver events, particularly across the university sector, they may have fallen into it by accident, because quite often it's the additional thing that needs to be done. And then once somebody discovers that you can do it, you will be doing it.
If I was approaching this, I would really start with the why. Like, why are you doing this event? What do you want to achieve? Do you need to run an event? Like, in all honesty, not everything needs to be an event. And that needs to be considered around, do you have the right budget? Do you have enough resource to get it done? Is the right amount of time in order that it takes alongside your other responsibilities as well? So I'd really think about, what are you trying to achieve as a starting place, and really map that out so everyone's clear about what direction of travel you're going in. The next piece would be your audience, and really thinking about, does this align to our audience? Does our audience want this? Because if the two things don't align, it's going to be a bit tricky further down the line once you've put all the planning in place and unpicking that.
You need to be thinking in your head, if all signs are showing that we are going to be delivering something, who's my team? Because if it's fallen to you, you probably don't have one, which means you have to assemble together all the people that are going to support you in your organisation.
But I think it really does come down to people and teamwork, because I don't know any successful events that run with one person. They're full of teams with different roles and responsibilities. They'll dip in and out at different points. You might have those that are there in the planning stages with you, thinking about different elements that you might not have within your toolkit or expertise, or they might be people that join you on the day and help welcome people and register people. But without those different groups of colleagues or volunteers, whoever those people are, you're not going to get there. And I think, back to the question, it's all about people, working with people and communicating and building those relationships to get it right.
I think at the start of that, for me, I'm always starting with, what does the budget look like? Because ultimately that determines what capacity I have to either bring somebody external in, to buy in external services that could be, design, it could be some additional marketing support, it's the audio visual on the day of the event, it's the catering, it's all of these parts that you're building your budget for. And also your budget should always be aligned to your timeframes, because you're going to spend different pots of money at different points in time. And also, depending on at what point one part reaches a kind of point of contract or conclusion, you could potentially free up money for another part. In terms of the managing expectations, I think regardless of whether or not there are challenges in the sector, you're always doing that. In fact, I'd say it's a huge part of the job. And I think the best way to do that, in my experience, has been to try and understand where people have a shared vision. And inevitably, even when things may be described slightly differently, the reality is you can tick a lot of boxes with, some very careful programming across your schedule on the day of an event, to try and meet multiple objectives. And so quite often what will seem on the surface like somebody that perhaps have competing competing priorities, or they're perhaps looking for different things out of the event, and it would immediately think, oh, I'm going to have to manage someone's expectations here. Actually, one of the great things with working particularly with academics is that you can bring everybody together and say, how can we achieve this? And actually, quite often, it makes for some of the best debate and discussions across your panels.